Hello. How's it going?
Hello, everyone.
Hey, welcome to another Friday at Cardboard Alchemy, or whenever you're watching this. I'm Peter Vaughan.
I'm Rosie in a very different room.
It's nighttime over there for Rosie, our comms manager.
It is. Yours is all fake lighting, though, right?
Yes. It could be nighttime here. You don't know. But we're back to talk about anything you want to talk about in board games. We can talk about our games. We have Flamecraft Duels we could chat about, or Critter Kitchen, Flamecraft, Andromeda's Edge, Whisperwood, which is coming up this year. But we could also talk about what games you're playing. You know, what are you going to play this weekend if you're going to play games, that kind of stuff. And
Also, it's January, and it is known for being sad. It's a month that everyone kind of finds a bit tough.
I've never said it. Oh, you're talking about January sad. Well, maybe it's because I have a birthday in January.
So I'm the same, but I've experienced a lifetime of people being like, it's January to my birthday.
I don't know.
But I'm curious if anyone has a different sort of gaming strategy in January. Do you see less people? Do you leave the house less? Do you play
more solo games right now because I've been playing games with a lot of people? There is more people with time. Some people seem charged up about games, either because they don't want to get into work yet, or because they just, I don't know, they're trying to start the year off with games. But I feel like I've had plenty of people asking to play games, which has been great to me.
But I have not even tried to ask people to do anything. I've managed to leave the house with like one person, but playing games is already tricky for me anyway with my London, everyone's close but far away. So but when I have played games, I've just lost every single game this year. So I'm looking forward to what game I will eventually win.
So my we can talk about what's what I've just played, but I'm up to 15 games played in 16 days of January. And I remember this game where Peter Hayward's like, "Are you going to do one a day?" I am almost on one a day pace now.
But actually one a day, or more like
I'm just saying, like, there's been days where I played a bunch, but I'm saying, like, when you average it out right now, they're fully tracked on BG Stats. I know I can tell you how many have gone my way or not gone my way as far as winning, and also just some of them in really long ones. I played Civolution. That should almost count as like 3 games. It's so long, and then I've played shorter ones. You know, the quick ones.
Are you doing a 10 by 10 this year?
I don't know, but at the way that I'm going, actually, look at the plays. None of the plays have been the same game, so I'm not sure.
No, you're doing a
10 by 10.
Yeah. Yeah, we have got a 10 by 10, and Doug worked out that we have to play 2 of those games every single week to achieve it. And I was like, when are we doing that? So, but they're not long games. I've seen some 10 by 10s that are all massive games, and I'm like, good luck. Good luck to you.
I noticed this comment. Imagine having friends to play games with, and I want to let you know that it takes a while to curate that group, because I will tell you, and I've done this for many years because of because of being a publisher and also hosting games and needing people to come over and test games, which has forced me to be extroverted and ask people to play games. You will find that there are people that play games that match you and match your energy and want to stay up late or don't want to stay up late, want to go to bed, or want to play a long game and are intimidated by a long game or not. And you just have to, it's trial and error. You know what I mean? I have different people in my life, and sometimes I think, oh, who can I count on if I am free on a Friday? If I'm like, okay, who's on my list of, like, who can I call? Sometimes it doesn't work, and sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm alone and I don't have the person. Because I wait too late, so it's a whole thing.
I have a lot of friends I would happily play games with. They just live too far away, and we don't drive, so it gets a little bit tricky. But we did have a bunch of people we met through. You could check out meetup.com, places like that.
Oh yeah,
you find, like, board game groups. There is actually board game groups in my area. They're all just midweek in the evenings, and I'm just not free, sadly. So I definitely could, but yeah, definitely check like Meetup and stuff. And that's how I found my friends. And then they left the country and left me for Australia.
And Meetup is they also ebb and flow, but I started a group on Meetup called First Play LA. That is how I started testing my very first board game that I was making. And now the group is over it's almost 2,000 members. Wow. not everybody comes, but what we do is there's a monthly meetup the last Saturday of the month. I used to run those every week. I don't run those anymore because the publishing has taken over, but I have another group, a couple that's decided to run those. And because of the consistency, it gets 60 people every Saturday.
Wow, that's a lot of people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they are
The
all
gaming
over.
group near me is growing. Their WhatsApp group has got more and more people in it, and it's run in a pub once a month and in a library once a month. And the entire library is pretty much games I gave them. Uh, they literally like have maybe 40 games from me. So
Oh, that's fun.
I hope
Yeah.
they're all enjoying them.
Thank you for saying that you'd play with me. That'd be awesome. If anyone's ever in Los Angeles,
Yeah,
we
this
have,
is what conventions are for me. For me,
yeah,
conventions are where I get to play games. So
and we're going to some conventions this year, right? We are
yeah.
doing, I think I figured it out. It's 10 where some of them are not consumer shows. They're just like, hey, we're doing a business show with retailers, but all together it's 10, which is a lot for us.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. There's a couple that some people go to on their own. Like I'm going to Aircon, which is in Harrogate. And I already have my talk. I'm doing well, not really a talk. I'm doing a giant games with Kim Joy, and we're going to play
Oh,
Giant Railroad Ink again. And
nice.
we're thinking of playing Giant Hot Streak, where we make people the mascots.
That's awesome. Okay,
Yeah.
Giant Hot Streak is epic.
Right? You fall over now. Turn around. Crash into them.
Will says, don't forget DonCon 6. Okay, I need to add that to the calendar.
But yeah, we've got obviously like the UK Games Expo, which we are going to be at, which is very, very exciting.
Ooh.
And we're going to do some fun stuff there. So definitely keep an eye out on our social media for when we start talking about that. But it's like 6 months away, right? So we're good.
No, we gotta start now planning because
We're good.
we have a big booth, Rosie, at UK Games Expo.
Yeah.
It's
We've
like,
got to start planning, but in terms of telling people,
oh
that's a
yeah,
little
yeah. People, well, I know that actually in our Discord, people are already asking about Gen Con, which is a question mark for us, and Origins, which we actually might be going to. It's all for us at Cardboard Alchemy. It depends on when a Kickstarter launches. So, for example, we are now thinking about when their launch date is and what cons will be before and after, during and late pledge and so forth. So it becomes about, for us, where can we show off the game that's coming up. And so for Whisperwood, one of the things we're doing is going to Dice Tower West. We don't go to Dice Tower West every time, but this year just happens to be a really good timing, I think, to show the game, get it out there and stuff like that. So
yeah,
we'll have a full list at some point posted for folks.
yeah, absolutely. But it's exciting, and obviously, like, let us know what conventions you're going to.
Yeah.
And what are your favorite ones. It's always very interesting to hear. And as we grow at doing conventions, we'll understand more about what our community wants from us. Like, is it tournaments? Is it cool
And the
booths?
answer to this question is yes, by the way. Yes. We also are going to be asking for help at we did last year. We went to actually the year before we had Essen, where we had a Drama's Edge, and we had like the most amazing team of demoers helping us out who knew the game. And then at PAX Unplugged last year, we had an amazing team. We had an amazing team at Gen Con last year. And I love the fact that our community steps up and says, I know these games and I love these games and I want to be there. And that's huge. So yes,
It's awesome. We'll definitely be reaching out for people at UK Games Expo.
You know what?
It'll be
It's
fun.
funny though. We got on this topic about playing games, and I will tell you that the only thing I get to play though at a convention, and maybe this will change, but it's usually our games, right?
Yeah.
So I'm playing Flamecraft Duels over and over and over. I'm playing Critic Kitchen. Not that I mind that, but that is what, if I recorded that in BG Stats, it'd be like, you played Critic Kitchen 30 times.
I think my most playing will be done before it starts, like on like Thursday evening or something.
Oh, right. When you get there and you can
when you get there and you can't do anything yet because you're not allowed in. But I actually find it incredibly difficult to play at certain conventions depending on the setup. For example, if it's open gaming and it's super noisy, I just cannot focus. If it's a simple game, sure, but I can't focus. So I find it very difficult staying in the hall full of like hundreds of people. Like literally one time a bee fell on me and I was just like, this is too much. I can't handle take this bee outside. Whereas when it's, smaller groups meeting up in, hotels or finding quieter places to go, that's definitely more my thing. So I find that nice.
Thank Thanks to Peter, Wild Venture has hit my table several times now. That's fun. I love that game. It was on Rosie's top 10 too.
It was indeed. It's right here.
I mean, it's really good. Although I introduced some people and they weren't prepared for how many cards you'd get and how expansive it was. They thought it was a lot lighter, and I was like, actually,
Yeah.
this could be a little crunchy.
It's like constantly shifts and changes throughout the game of how many cards are in front of you, and you just have to adapt to where you're going to put things.
It's two sad ones. I'm so sorry. I just decided not to attend Dice Tower West, but a gaming crew sounds amazing. So
that's fun.
Don't worry about Whisperwood. We'll still have Whisperwood to see online and so forth. The gaming crew sounds amazing.
That's awesome.
And Devil's Treasure, right? Being part of the demo team was fun. This was at Gen Con. Saddest part that Cardboard Alchemy might not be at Gen Con this year, and you might have to run your own game of Andromeda's Edge. I'm not going to turn you away from. I mean, that sounds awesome. And yes, you do need to carry it though. We do have people who, I went to I used to go to shows, like when I went to Gen Con one year, I didn't have anything that was official. I was just showing Critic Kitchen a little bit before it was out. And I walked around there were 30 events of Flamecraft happening at that Gen Con. And I went to each one to visit the people who were playing Flamecraft. And Rosie and I did that at PAX Unplugged. We went to go find a Flamecraft tournament that was being hosted, which was kind of neat. It's really fun to see our games get played out there.
Yeah, it was really sweet, and we brought them some goodies. It was really nice.
Yeah, I at Dice Tower West, I remember the year that it was Flamecraft. So Flamecraft had come out. We were at Dice Tower West, and it was the first time I was seeing Flamecraft copies on the table, and I was resisting the urge to be. I'd see people with the rule book open, and I would be like, do you need any help? Do you want me to bug you? I mean, like I could totally jump in and teach this right now. And I was like, I didn't want to.
I've taught Flamecraft to quite a few random groups of people who just opened it up, or even Critic Kitchen. I think they were just opening up Critic Kitchen because at AirCon last year, we gave a copy of Critic Kitchen into the library, and that was the only way you could play it at that point, because I think it was just getting into retail, or it was just about to get into retail. So unless backers brought it with them, that was kind of it. Yeah. And so I could not check that out of the library till like the last day, because it was constantly checked. I actually had to run over, and the first thing it goes, is it available? Yes. Okay, great. So I saw a few people, and I went over and I taught them. I gave them some promos. That was really nice. But yeah, it was really fun. But there was a bunch of blokes playing Flamecraft, and they were like, we don't know what we're doing. And I was like, all right, I'll teach it to you. They just opened it up and set it up. So
it's so great when you are going to do that diving into a rulebook, because I've done that. Like even last night, I was playing Fromage with some people, and it's been a year since I played Fromage, and I was like, I could teach it. And then my brain's like, wait a minute, all the rules are like escaping me right now. And then our mutual friend, Amanda Panda, who is over playing games as well, she just turns around and she goes, I could teach it. And she does like, boom, teaches it. And then because we were like, oh, good, we could put this rule book away and we're just going to get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me jump into this thing. So nice.
Yeah.
Someone does that for you.
I've like years ago, I was in a board game cafe, and this couple were about to play Get On Board, which is a game that I played a bunch but never taught. And I was just like, yeah, I'll teach it to you. And as I was teaching it, their food arrived, and it got and then all of a sudden the person serving it goes, you only have like 10 minutes left before your booking's up, right? And I was just like, you're not going to play this game. And they set the whole game up, and I was like, you can't really Get On Board in 10 minutes. Like they had their food, everything. I was like, what have you been doing? So I was just like, Doug's like, where have you gone? You've just disappeared.
I mean, that's the danger, right? You're like, people are like, are you coming back to our game?
We were leaving, and he'd already left the whole place. And I was like, just 1 second.
I could do this.
Yeah. I'm actually seeing a lot of people talking, this has popped up in my brain, talking about 2016 and what were you up to in like 2016 in terms of board gaming, because it's 10 years. It's like this thing people do.
2016.
And that's actually when I first kind of majorly got into board games, was 10 years ago. We were into it a bit, but at that point our collection was a 2x2 Kallax, and there was space.
Wow. Yeah.
So can you remember what games you were playing in 2016?
I remember 2016 very well. 2016 is when I entered the game industry.
Oh, wow.
I entered at the beginning of the year because I had made the game Letter Tycoon. I had published Letter Tycoon, and I wasn't sure if I was going to take it to Kickstarter or what. And I had worked with Breaking Games. They were the publisher, they were the distributor, I guess, of game What the Food, and they offered me a position to be their head of development. And it started in 2016. I signed Letter Tycoon and Boomtown Bandits two games that I made at that time. Boomtown Bandits. Oh my god, I haven't played that forever. It's a Western shoot 'em up with rolling dice. And I signed those two games and then came on board in the start of 2016 as their developer. And that
Wow.
started so I have been, I guess, I mean, I designed a game my first designed game was in 2011, but 2016 I was full-time working. So that was something.
Yeah, I mean, it was an interesting time because there was this massive boom in board gaming. Like there was sudden, I mean, we knew about games that existed, but around that time, all of a sudden, there were all these groups popping up in London, and it was Takanoko, and it was Colt Express, and it was like all these games were coming out of nowhere. I mean, Carcassonne's older than that, but it was on tables everywhere, and knew of all these people that were suddenly discovering it around that time. So I've got all these pictures. I like scrolled back and I was like, oh wow, that's when I bought my Studio Ghibli meeples for Carcassonne, like the kind of stuff that I was buying to accessorize my games, and that's when I got obsessed with gaming. And I guess it never really went away.
I remember the year that we say Colt Express. I remember the year that was super hot at BGG-Con. Like I was at BGG-Con, and everyone was talking about Colt Express. I remember that. Yeah. That was something else. And I did gaming as a kid, but then also what I was doing with friends was we would play Carcassonne all the time, and we would play Arkham Horror all the time, and then we would play Bang, the card game version of Bang. We had that going on all the time.
I think the new version of Mysterium was around then as well.
Oh yeah,
it was an old Polish version, and then they redid it, and it's super snazzy with the little.
Yeah, they came out with versions. I remember that.
And I went to a lot of board game cafes that year. A lot of board game cafes.
That was when I also started funding Kickstarters. I remember funding at least 2 or 3 board game cafes that were basically, they went on Kickstarter to try and fund their initial cafe opening.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And people are saying that they either weren't playing board games 10 years ago, and that's totally valid because, you know, like,
we welcome you if you're just coming in. Like if you
a lot of the
welcome.
Community, like, you know, that I speak to on TikTok and everything, a lot of those people have just discovered board games. And when they talk about games they've just discovered, they don't realize how old they are, which is just amazing. And they'll be like, oh, this new game, Carcassonne. And I go, nope. So it's really lovely. Like I think a lot of the things that we've done have brought people into the hobby, and then those people then add and talk about it, and it spreads the word, which is what's great about the hobby, is that more and more people discover it, and it's good for you. It's keeps you away from screens a little bit. I mean, not for me.
Yeah, if you're coming in, this is a good one to start with.
I mean, that's what I mean. Like some people, that's their first game. We've had people on every campaign that I've worked on with you say, this is the first ever Kickstarter that I've ever backed.
Yeah.
And Pretty Kitchen. And I don't think for Genesis, I don't think they've gone, this is my first board game, because that doesn't make any sense. But like
Minecraft was the game that got me back into board gaming. I was searching for dragons on Kickstarter because I was playing a lot of D&D.
That's awesome. That's really cool. And Sporty Cuff got into it around 2016 as well. It was I believe Sporty Cuff is also English, and I think, and yeah, it was a big time for us. So that was when there was a board game Facebook group that's massive now that kind of started around then. So yeah, some people 2 to 3 years, but it's really interesting. And you may be doing something completely different in 2016. I was just stopped being a cake decorator. I used to be a professional cake decorator, and that's when I stopped because it was horrible. And I ended up working in social media, which is where I ended up doing this now. So you know, you can constantly change career.
You can. I mean, the thing is, I was playing games with Brad Brooks, who started Cardboard Alchemy with me in around 2000 and such. And then Brad and I split off different directions. And then I played poker a lot, and I was like doing something else, and I did different jobs. And then Brad and I came like back to the same industry. And then I got, then what happened is, because I've mentioned Letter Tycoon, that was his game. So we started like, you know, saying, let's meet up all the time to talk about board games, which was...
Yeah, it's really lovely. I mean, there's one of the reasons why there's such a common occurrence of people falling in love with board games and working in it. It's because they love it so much. They just want to do it 24/7.
So did say, you know, are you worried you'd burn out? I could confidently say so far in 10 years have not burned out. I play as much as because some people, I know it's a job, and but to me, I'm like, I cannot play them fast enough. last night I was like, we were going till 1, and I was like, we could just keep going. And everyone's like, I think I gotta call it. I'm like, oh, come on, let's
It's
go.
very impressive because, like, my husband's 41 and he's done by 10 p.m. Like, he's going to bed every night at 10 p.m. Unless it's like a game night once in a while. We did go to 1 a.m. on Fate of the Fellowship, but not often. And I'm already getting to that point where I'm like, so it's really impressive.
It's I
And
love
you don't wake up late either. I know that.
no. I mean, yeah, I live off of games, so it's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, your bed is made of games. Your fridge is
I
made of
could,
games.
yeah, the whole place. Sometime I'll have to do a stream where it's the tour of the Calyx shelves or something, because
That would be so good. We should live stream our collection to see how many times we match up. I don't think it's going to be that common.
yeah, I'll have to put
Can you find this game?
Well, right now my collection is actually very so what I do is I bring about a third of it to the office, so that, like, we were hosting last night at the office and people were playing games, and I have a third of it here, and then I sometimes cycle it out so that people could get different games. For example, I was telling everybody about Forest Shuffle because I've been playing online. Forest Shuffle's really great and I'm getting addicted to it. And so that's at my home collection, and I was bringing it over yesterday. I also brought Clans of Caledonia here at the studio because I recently started playing that online and discovered, oh my God, there's a reason why I love this game. And so I taught 2 new people this week. It was on my birthday, and I said, listen, I'm going to teach you this game. It's great. And because I was so up to speed on the rules, I was like, we're just going to get right into this thing. I'll tell you the tricky parts. But my collection is not organized, and I keep thinking about Chris Strain has it, and I think this is one of the coolest ways to organize it. He has it where his games are ordered on his shelf by best player count. Wow. So if he has 3 people over, he's like, you want to go look at that shelf and then choose one of those. And if he's got 7 people over, it's like, you want that section right there. And that's what we're going to look at.
That's really cool. I mean, mine is organized by wherever it fits. We tried to organize it by designer at one point, but it's just whatever fits. And this area here, because this is in my lounge, there are games in every room. I think there's even one in the bathroom. And this is organized by, like, the games we're currently playing are like to here. So it's got Coast Stickerbill, and then Cafe Barrows, and then some sealed stuff from Essen. So it's trying to, like, keep in mind. And then I have all my tiny games in these little wooden things.
Tiny games are one of the hardest ones to do. I have seen some good collections. My friend Don has, like, all the tiny games well organized with, like, a layered, like, it's really great.
Yeah.
The tiny ones are hard for me. I have the tiny ones in some bin that I have to be surprised. Oh, that's where that went.
Yeah, we had them in a drawer system, and I realized I want them on show because we're more likely to grab them when we're taking them out, because we'll go to cafes on Sundays, and we'll usually do, like, puzzles, like riddles and things, and then we'll bring a little game with us. And so I like having them out, especially if you've got people over and you go, what do you want to start with? And you want to start with a small game. Right there.
I was gonna say we need a list for the bathroom now, and it's like rolling right toilet paper.
It's probably okay play, something like that.
I was thinking that the best thing for the bathroom might actually be, like, really intense rule books where you need to study a lot about what's going on.
I wouldn't, like, that's bad for you, okay?
All right,
like a short rule book, sure. I really I like when someone said I mostly blame the tabletop series on Geek and Sundry for introducing me to so many games.
Oh yeah, that was around that time, was definitely because I said I was in poker, right? So what ended up happening was Celebrity Poker Showdown kind of came around the time when that tabletop was like, oh, let's put celebrities on playing games, see if we can't make games cool. And of course, games are, like, it's more and more celebrities now play it. It's just not formalized like that.
Yeah.
On talk shows now and in TV shows, you'll see game collections and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, on Stranger Things, they said that when they've got all the cast there, they were playing Blood on the Clock Tower and they were playing Nemesis. Apparently, a couple of the cast are big board gamers, and so they were bringing these 4 to 7 hour board games.
That's fun.
Which I love. It was very cool.
Yeah.
But I loved tabletop. Tabletop and Shut Up and Sit Down were the ones that I was watching a lot of. Maybe a bit of Rado, but
yeah.
A lot of that.
So Mark mentions that Luke Laurie is the dominant designer in his collection of games, which is awesome. Luke designed Andromeda's Edge and Dwellings of Eldervale and is on our team. I actually was thinking about how, I mentioned Chris keeps his by player count. My friend Don keeps his by designer or publisher. So he'll keep all of the same, like Ryan Lockett games together. And I do have there's a Luke Laurie section on his shelf, which is pretty cool.
I've got a Ryan Lockett section, though I think I've got too many now. I can't fit them. Like, it grew very quickly. It was sitting at about 200, and then when I started the channel, Cozy Board Games.
Can you imagine if somebody had a Reiner Knizia section?
Yeah, exactly. And it grew to about 400 in about a year. So I gained an extra 200 games in a year, and that's when I was like, where are we putting these? And it's gone down a bit now because we've had to cull some, but it's like, just shove them in any space. There's actually an area where we have the small games, and the area between it, there's a gap, and so we've just filled that gap. So whatever's behind it, who knows? Fill it up. But
we have some pictures in the things we're going to share that show games on shelves. We should show those.
Yeah, absolutely. So very exciting. Some people may have noticed that people are picking up the standard copy of Flamecraft Duels, and it's because it's in Barnes & Noble. So got your pictures here.
I saw it at they have a Games for Two table now at Barnes & Noble because they're getting ready for Valentine's Day. So there's some games on there. And Flamecraft Duels is ready to go.
It's really cool.
We heard from Barnes & Noble that it's going very well. Like it's going out of the gate on fire. It's fired up.
It's awesome. It's so cool. I can't go check. I'm like, I can't.
I know. Yeah.
But as soon as and it's not a long time until they are in retail. In hobby stores.
Barnes & Noble's first. They did talk to us earliest. They were like, could we get this? They were very excited. And then now it's more stores are now being able to pick it up. It has a targeted retail release date of end of January. I know that some distributors we're talking to will probably get it like into February, but it is okay to be in stores. So if you have a local store and they don't have it, you could ask them to call us up to get it, because we actually have a wholesale portal now at allplay.com, so retailers can come directly to us and place an order for Flamecraft Duels. Retailers can actually get Flamecraft Duels Deluxe or Standard, which is pretty exciting. They can choose if they want to go to the Deluxe in their store shelves or have the Standard, or both, because we know that like Mox Boarding House, I believe in Seattle, is potentially going to get a little bit of both. So it's kind of cool to see that happening.
Yeah, Barnes & Noble is a legit game store now. I recently checked out one near us, and it's larger, bigger selection than most of the local game specific stores. It's massive.
And I think that one thing I noticed this year, because I saw the Kinson Key guys post that they got Galactic Cruise going into Barnes & Noble now. And that to me is a level of like, Barnes & Noble was not selling that weight.
That's
for. I feel like if I can go into Barnes & Noble and get like Twilight Imperium or Galactic Cruise, or maybe we got to talk to them about Andromeda's Edge, because it feels like, okay, that's serious now. We're getting into
it's really interesting as well, because when I think about the market for Barnes & Noble, it's very much like people discovering games, or it's people buying games for other people who've asked for them. So it gives an outlet to be able to say, just because my parents don't trust any shops. They don't trust PayPal. They are literally like, where can I buy this thing from? So you have to find the place that they would trust.
They want a physical place.
Well, not just physical. They're like, if it's Amazon, fine. But they would never trust eBay or PayPal or any of those things. So I'm always like, here, like Barnes & Noble is a great option if you're like, I want Galactic Cruise. You can go to Barnes & Noble to get it. So I think that's really interesting. But also, there are lots of game stores, but at the same time, the areas that, for example, Waterstones in the UK, that's basically like Barnes & Noble. They have flagship stores with games in, but where those flagship stores are, there are no game shops nearby, because they're in these hugely like populated areas that game stores couldn't afford to be in. So they're in different areas with different footfall. So it's really interesting. I'm from the UK. I'm from the UK. Yes, that's why Waterstones. I hope we can get it in Waterstones. Waterstones is a fantastic game section.
We're going to work on it. I remember when I went to Thailand and I was visiting Thailand and I saw Flamecraft. They do something very different with their board game stores. They have board game stores in malls, and everyone in Thailand likes to be in the mall because it's very hot there, and so they keep all the malls connected with air conditioning, and most of the stores end up going to have a mall presence. And so then they work with the mall, and they publishers directly rent out shelf space so you could decorate your board game like end cap however you want as a publisher. So it was
Yeah.
really interesting that they were like showing Flamecraft off with this display, and they were putting a bunch of copies because they could decide how to decorate the shelf, which is usually in the US that would be done by the store, not by the publisher. The publisher does not get to
Yeah.
say like, oh, put it over here. Although that being said, if I go into Barnes and Noble and I see that Critter Kitchen is not on front and center, I'll fix that right away.
It was shared in our group. This one I really wanted to sort out.
Yes, absolutely. Could we just, yeah, we need to fix
Can we
that.
just
Although
like what's going on here?
Arcana is right there next to Flamecraft. I love the juxtaposition of those two games because I love
What is happening?
Arcana.
But I feel I would have shifted them up a few.
Yeah. Well,
But
as a
it's really
publisher,
cool.
you get excited to see those things out there.
But no, so you should start to see, depending on where you are, we're working on it. This is like a first thing for us to ever be doing this. It's really
Yeah,
exciting.
this is our first game where we're distributing it worldwide ourselves. Rosie just wrote a press release on that. It's very
If you
exciting
spot
because
any news articles about it, please let me know.
we are. So what that means is that we're contacting Australia, and like there's two really big distributors there. We're contacting Canada. There's a pretty big distributor there. There's more. There's also the UK's got some pretty big distributors. The US has certain ones that we're talking to everyone, of course, because we're trying to make sure our game goes everywhere. And it's been fascinating because so far we haven't seen anyone that's. Most of them have been like, I'll take a ton of duels, which has been really exciting.
It's really cool. It's really cool.
Yeah.
I'm actually off to an industry event next week called Toy Fair, which is mostly about toys, and it's in London,
Toy Fair
and
as
it's
well.
only for industry people. So in the past, before Cardboard Alchemy, I snuck in as press because technically, when you make video content, it doesn't count as press. So I had to sneak in and have a look around. But now I'm going to talk to them about our games, which is really exciting. And also, it's kind of the first event for the UK market to talk
Yeah.
about, but there's a lot of board games there. There's also a lot of Bluey and other things. And there's a mascot
the
day
toy
when they
market.
all these giant mascots just dance around.
Yeah.
But
I've
it's
been to the New York Toy Fair, which is a couple of weeks down the road, and this is the first year that I'm going to the Nuremberg Toy Fair because we want to present to different partners there. Toy fairs are interesting because you do have that toy side of the business, which they look at games like, board games are kind of foreign. Toys are a different kind of, they just have a different vibe, So sometimes it's a mix of two cultures to be at a toy fair.
And there's the crossover period as well of the toy games, which are not really board games. They're sort of like novelty things for kids, but they're kind of games.
I imagine this is Hot Streaks year, even.
Oh,
yeah. Because you got the toy factor
Hot Streaks gonna. CMYK normally get represented by another one there, and I always spot them with monikers at these events.
Yeah.
But yeah, Asmodee have a huge stand. It's a big event for them because it's their like first thing, and a lot of retailers are walking around. So it's really nice to just start chatting to people again in the new year about what's going on, and you get to kind of see what might be the hotness. It's. Mm-hmm. Not every company's there, obviously, but there is the stuff that Asmodee are taking on and the stuff that Ravensburger are taking on, and those can be massive games. So it's very interesting.
This quarter for the game business feels like it is that kind of ramp because Rosie and I are also going to Gamma, which is where you talk directly to retailers, distributors. There are designers there, publishers, there are content creators there, but it started as let me talk directly to retailers as a business, and then let me talk to the manufacturers in another conversation. The start of the year with all the toy fairs and all of that, you do start to see that's where people start to make predictions about what are people going to gravitate towards. So I'm excited that Duels is ready to go to be at all those places.
Yeah, there's always like this what game broke Gamma kind of thing. I think Critter Kitchen had a little bit, and the Duels was shown for the first time. It was a prototype. And it's actually how we got the prototypes, is you met with the manufacturers and then we got the best versions of the prototype. And that's what I was showing to like I had about 16 meetings with creators, and we started having conversations with people and everything. And that's the first time I'd played it physically. And then I played it 30 times in space of about 3 days. So yeah, it was really, really fun to like kickstart that game with talking to people about it. And there was a lot of people going, we've heard about this game just over the 3 days. It's just people
So it'll be
talking.
exciting to go back now with real copies.
Yeah, it's full circle. It's such a quick turnaround. It's so quick.
Our fastest one.
Yeah.
I do know that other games that we're making are going to take longer. So, but we were excited to make that one.
Yeah, absolutely. It's exciting, and it's a really fun event because in the evenings everyone kind of just takes over all these hotels and plays games. There's a lot of play testing. There's a lot of prototypes being thrown around and people asking for thoughts on them. And there's these games evenings where it's just this room full of people trying out games. It's very exciting.
It changed Gamma. Like, I think Gamma was not a show I would normally recommend designers go to. But what kind of changed it was some designers decided I'm going anyway, and I'm going to pitch a game. And a couple years ago now, Eamon Anderson pitched Gnome Hollow at Gamma. He brought his prototype of Gnome Hollow, which was illustrated by him and designed by him and ready to go, kind of like publisher ready.
Yeah.
And he was, all of a sudden, everyone was like, oh my God, we have to have this game. And it's very interesting because now what that means, now what I saw happen last year is that more people showed up with that same mentality of I'm going to be the next, I'm going to do what Ammon did. I'm going to have my game and it's going to find a publisher here.
Yeah.
And it, now it's an interesting, it does work it doesn't work for everybody, right? Because there are going to be tons of people who find out that that's actually hard to get publishers' attention when they're trying to talk to retailers or wholesalers or manufacturers. But then some people, it's going to work because they're going to be like, well, we have a couple minutes to kill. Do you want to give me a pitch on this game? And then it's going to be like, I'll take all of it. Yeah.
It's amazing how many people travel to Kentucky for this event in February. Or March now. It's early March. It's just amazing how many, like, the amount of people you go, I know them. They're just walking past you.
Well, it's the industry is turned into whatever. I don't always go to Kentucky. This is in Baltimore. I first went to Vegas. It's like glitch out.
Am I glitching?
First. But fun.
Let me know in the chat if I'm glitching or if Peter is. It might be me. Robot Peter. Okay, Peter is glitching. Yeah, maybe go and come back. I just never know if it's me and I'm like, am I glitching? But yeah, no, it's a really cool event. I have a lot of fun there. I'm excited. Peter is now frozen. Oh no. Gamma heard we were talking about it and they shut us down. Not the industry secrets. I'm fine. Of course I'm fine. I'm fine because Doug is working and not using the internet. Do you see my collection of dragons and soft toys? Peter's just gonna see if he can, I don't know, close a million tabs and I'm sure he'll be back. But yeah, I'm very excited for Gamma. And we're there. It's weird because you go there for like a week. You're there from like Monday. It's not a weekend thing. It's like you're there Monday to Friday. So it's this bizarre kind of working week. We were all just having these fancy meetings and people are drinking coffee. Also, there's also some other conventions going on at the same time, like the Bricklayers convention, which was particularly amusing. Having like, are they bricks or are they games? Who are they? Which was a lot of fun.
Am I back? Or no?
Yeah, you're back. You are back. Yeah.
Okay, because I'm amused at all the things. I'm frozen. I'm fuzzy. I'm a blob.
You're a fuzzy blob.
Well, every day is a little different for something. Hello, everybody. Welcome to a Friday or whenever you're watching this.
Oh no, he's restarted. No.
What?
No, I'm joking. You restarted the stream. Like, welcome. Like the robot politician in Parks and Rec. Is he good? Like,
Yeah.
And you moved to the other side. We just did a bit of a dance there, but yeah, we've got some other social images to share.
Okay, let's do it.
So, this is the first time someone has shared on our outside of our
I am
Discord.
not. I'm not AI. No. Sorry. Oh, look at that painting the.
Um, they painted the mini. I'm actually nearly finished editing mine. It's ready to go, but the magazine that's featuring the tutorial on how to paint a fountain mini, I believe, is going to be either the February issue for Cozy Companion. So I'm trying to time it a little bit with that. But at the moment, the Cozy Companion magazine has an interview with Manny Vega in their I think in
Nice.
their January issues or December. I don't know, but have a look.
Cozy
And they do a
companion.
digital subscription as well as a physical, so you can check it out.
That's great
But
that people are painting.
it's such a great mini to paint. It's so simple. Of all the minis we've done, this is
You know what's the
literally
greatest part about it is that I don't have to paint it. I'm like, look at it, it's ready to go. It's a fountain. It's the right color, and I'm done. But I love the fact that people are getting into it, and I'm glad there's the detail there to have fun.
yeah, absolutely. I have many painted ones now. In fact, I have to remind myself which copies are missing the minis. I'm like, wait, oh no, which one's missing?
Yeah,
um,
it's great.
oh,
I
you did.
still
They
love
all
to bring.
subscribe. Yay, that's awesome.
I
Let
still
us
have
know what
to
you think.
bring a painted set to Gamma so we can show them off.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. I shall put a dragon fountain in my pocket. This is awesome. So Elizabeth
Oh,
made rosemary.
oh, that's so
Look,
cute.
it's so cute. I think it's crocheted. I think it's crocheted.
Yeah,
Just
that's
needs a
adorable.
woolly flying around it, right?
Look at it. Look at that. So awesome. Our,
I
our
do
community
actually
is
have
so
my
creative.
woolly on my bag.
Yeah.
Which if I say it quick, it sounds wrong. I have the woolly plushie on my bag.
Yeah.
And people always go, "What's that? What's not a Labubu? What's that?" So it's really fun. But no, I now need a bread dragon
Turned
turned
into
around.
rosemary. That's
Mine is
pretty
bald now, so need to sort it. um
adorable, that picture.
And in the Critter Kitchen group, this is a lot of text. You don't have to read it, anyone, but Jasmine is having a Critter Kitchen themed party or Critter
Fun.
Kitchen themed food at their party. And I was curious what people would do if they were having a Critter Kitchen
Do you know that I'm about
party.
to have a Critter Kitchen themed food party? I'm actually going to Tantrum Con, which is, we were talking about conventions. It's our first one for the year, is Tantrum Con, and it's a smaller one hosted by Tantrum House, a content creator in South Carolina. And we're going there and we're hosting something called a Critter Kitchen Tournameal, where you come in, you buy tickets for a lunchtime game, you play, you sit down, you get to play Critter Kitchen at your table. Someone at the table is going to win Critter Kitchen, and then you go up. There's a photo op, and you can also go get food, and you can have eat while you play. Some people will be freaking out when I say that, but you can play the game. And what we decided to do is work with them on a menu specifically curated for Critter Kitchen.
So cool. It's so exciting.
Yeah. Now
Oh,
I said to them, you got to figure out a fish course, and you got to figure out a mushroom course, and you got to figure out a meat course. And they did combine mushrooms and fish into one course.
are you going to eat this meal?
I don't know. I like fish a lot.
Mhm.
But it's like a salmon. It's a salmon Florentine, like with stuffed mushroom caps. I'm
Someone's going to find
curious.
a napkin full of mushrooms and be like, "That's Peter."
But I
Um,
love that
That's
they're
awesome.
getting into it. Like, it's going to be a really fun event. I'll definitely take pictures of that. And I think 100 people are already like signed up.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
so cool. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely not the level I don't expect from people's personal parties. But if you
Oh
are
no,
going,
you're
please
putting
do
that
let
on
us
next
know.
week in London. We didn't tell you.
Please do let us know if you do go and take pictures, and we'd
Yes.
love to see what happens. I mean, I think Peter will be there, but I'm not going to be there, so I want to see pictures.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun time. Alex Cutler, one of the co-designers, is gonna be there.
Well, he can take pictures.
Right? We're gonna we can pictures with Alex. He can sign things. We're gonna give away merch feasts as prizes as well.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
You
Yeah.
know,
I mean, if I was having a Critter Kitchen party, I would definitely just serve raw mushrooms, 100%.
I mean, what you could do with an easy Critter Kitchen game day is you could make cookies in the shapes of the sous chefs, because we happen to have
We do have a
cookie
cookie
cutters.
cutters. At the moment, you cannot buy them. So,
Well, they're coming back. There
they're coming back. They're coming back.
we have currently on allplay.com, we have our pre-order for all Flamecraft related things that were on the Kickstarter that people might want to grab. And then after the pre-order is done, we are moving the rest of our stock to All Play, which will include all the Critter Kitchen goodies.
Yep. The pre-order actually ends soon, and then they'll start shipping them out early February.
Hey, how's it going, Mike? Have you caught up with the stream and how you seasonal?
I think they're waving.
Have they caught up to the part where I was frozen?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he's like, this is not the real Peter. But yeah, let us know what you might do if you were having a Critter Kitchen party. I'd love to know. I did actually make a video on how to do a Flamecraft foodie party, and that's, I think, on our TikTok and maybe on Instagram. So you can go have a look at that and see if you agree. Everything was vegetables cut up pretty much and sweets that matched the things. But yeah, I'm just gonna check any other topics. Oh, how was your birthday?
It was good. I played games, as what I did. This was a little bit less of a like celebration than some, because it wasn't a huge milestone year or anything like that, but I did get some games to the table. I have a thing on my birthday where I go to a new restaurant that I've never been to.
Yeah, I remember.
Sometimes that is super successful, and sometimes that is like, okay, I don't know what is up with this restaurant.
Have you ever had food poisoning from the birthday restaurant?
I've been lucky not to have that.
I think that's a huge success every time then.
I mean, some of them, and I think I've talked about it before, but I went to one of the most memorable ones was a science fiction Japanese tapas restaurant in Los Angeles.
Oh wow, that's
it was cool. One of the ones that I would actually have to put on the fail, because what they did is they brought out these portions that were like the size of a quarter with a little sauce on it, and you would eat that, and then you would order another tapas, and then they would take 30 minutes or 40 minutes. You never filled up. I think that was their goal, is that you never actually
you stayed forever.
You just kept ordering these weird little appetizers. But it was the decor was really interesting, because it was kind of like Blade Runner in there, and it was like wild. I was like, okay, this is a really cool restaurant, just not where I would go to get a decent meal, like to not to get full. I think it's a good socializing place. This year's was I live in Burbank, and there was a Mexican restaurant that was really near. In Burbank, we have like a big equestrian center, and what I did not realize is that all the equestrian center folks like to just settle in with a big margarita after they like to just like hang out like on a ranch style Mexican.
They bring their horses.
The horses can tie up in the back.
Oh, that's so cool. That is not a thing you can do in the UK. That's awesome.
It's fun. It can lead to some fun times where you're like, okay, this is a brand new. There was one where I never went, but I was looking up restaurants, and there was a Swedish chef like restaurant, and like it was all built around that character from the Muppets, and I was like, okay, that sounds like a place I have to go.
That's awesome.
So maybe next birthday.
I do the opposite, and I go to the same places every single time because I do not trust new food. I like to be well the following day.
Yeah, there's that.
My stomach is very sensitive, so I am having Thai food again, and I will be having massaman curry.
Thai food's not a mistake. I love that.
Oh yeah, we have a place called Big Cheeks Thai, and it's lovely. We've actually got her cookbook and everything, and it's really, really yummy. And I always have to decide how many sides, like satay, or do we get the tom kha soup, which I love.
Oh my god!
It's more how much can I eat? We're just like, I want all of it. But, yeah.
I had a fun story about that soup when I was in Thailand.
Oh yeah,
I was in a market, and they were making that soup, and I didn't know much about it, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna have this soup finally. And I go have the soup, and I'm just having the soup, and then I was in a cooking class the next day, and they said, you're not supposed to eat. There's a lot of things in that soup that are just there for flavor, and you're not supposed to eat that. And I didn't know.
I eat everything. Apparently, you're not supposed to eat the ginger bits.
Yeah, some of the things in that soup are just there to be like providing flavor, and you don't eat that. I was like, how was I supposed to know that? So
I mean, in the soup.
Yeah, right? I'm like, okay, I'm just taking care of everything in the soup.
Yeah, there's definitely bits of grass that I don't eat. But I do. The one bit that throws me is the baby tomatoes. So I absolutely adore baby tomatoes, like the ones on the vine. This is the treat that I buy myself from the shops. No cookies, baby tomatoes. And they put them in the soup, and when you bite into them, they are boiling hot. You're like, why? Why don't you just cut them
I
out?
know enough not to eat the bay leaf, by the way. I do have that one. But yeah, lemongrass, I think I had some.
Yeah, I definitely ate some of that accidentally, but the ginger's good for you. I don't think that's a problem, but it is very large pieces of it. But yeah, I'm
So
gonna
by
check
the
if there's
way,
any questions from everyone because I
yes,
think
we're gonna get the questions, although I'm gonna go over you know what I just these are the games that I've played since the last time we were on stream. Ready
okay,
for it? I have played 6 games since last stream.
very
I
good,
played Puerto Rico 1897,
nice.
the deluxe super edition with all the things that don't even they shouldn't even be a thing. It shouldn't be that you have these buildings because the game doesn't need any of that stuff, but of course it's extravagant and it's awesome. I played Civolution, which is long, but I kind of really like it. It's a I the people I've played with are on the fence because it's a computer simulation where it's a weird setup. You're trying to pass a course and you basically run a civilization. You basically run a civilization and you get to decide like if you're going to evolve them or if you're going to go hunt for resources or do whatever. And what I think is kind of amusing about that is literally you can give them, you can evolve. And so my people on the ground gained horns. And so I was ramming into the other players with the horned.
I did not know that's what that game was about.
You basically can decide what you want to do. They literally have 18 different actions you could take with dice. You have to roll dice, and your dice determine what kind of actions you could take. You could plus minus the dice. But for example, there's an action called procreate. So if you want, like, you could just operate with a small tribe, or you could say, listen, we're going to focus. You could get on boats, you could go sail off somewhere, you could farm, you could go harvest different stuff, you could mutate, as I said, you could build buildings. You could basically do anything you want in that game, and that is why it takes a very long time to play. Whoever does the best basically passes the course because it's like you're taking a final exam, and everyone else fails the final exam.
It feels like a Black Mirror episode.
Weird. I played Clans of Caledonia, which I mentioned. Is great. Scottish, you're making milk and cheese and whiskey, trading goods.
All the things I can eat and drink. Excellent.
Okay. I played Red Cathedral. Have you played that one?
I've seen it.
It's a
It
Devere
looks
game.
beautiful. Wait, is that a Devere game?
It's a Devere game. Really clever rondel. Really clever.
Yeah, it came out before White Castle. Yeah.
Really clever score track as well because there's 2 score tracks on the same track. One which is your end game points and one which is your sort of in-game, like what you're pushing the track. And when you want to get more resources, you could step back an entire notch on the final VP track, which is an interesting way. You're like, oh, I kind of need more resources. I'm going to go ahead and lose a couple points right now in order to get what I need to get going. But you're building a cathedral for the Tsar. I played Fromage.
I want to play that.
You haven't played that one yet?
No.
Oh, well, it's another one that you can't eat the things in there, but
it's okay. Like I can't eat most of the food in Flamecraft either.
okay, well the cheese making is awesome. I have not played the sequel to that.
I love the idea of cheese making because I have absolutely no idea how you make cheese. So I'm fascinated.
Fromage is very clever because what's happening is you have 3 workers, right? And they're cheese makers, and they made it so that there's 4 mini games in quadrants, and every turn after you place 2 workers, you then play the next mini game where you could put 2 more workers down if you've got them back. Unfortunately, the workers that you just placed went off they just turned and rotated to the last person. So there's this mechanism where if the worker is facing you again, you get it back.
Oh, cool.
So you can decide to take a long action where it will not come back to you for 3 turns, or you can take a short action where it will come back to you as the next rotation happens.
That's interesting. But it's less fruitful, less cheeseful. It's less fruitful as a concern.
Right. Well, they actually do have fruit, and they have all these things in there. You can actually get fruit to go with the cheeses. You can get cattle to create some of the milk because you could get like you could build buildings. There's like a lot going on in Fromage. But it's so clever, the worker placement part of it. It's really fun. Awesome. And then I ended yesterday with Ham Helsing. That was the latest one.
Ham Helsing. Oh, I've seen clips of this.
I have it right here, actually. Ham Helsing.
I love the style. Who's the artist on this? Because it looks so fun.
That's a good question, actually. Fireside Games. Let's see if they could figure out. Based on the graphic novel by Rich Moyer. I wonder if they got Rich to do it.
Maybe, yeah.
Book. It is
I'm gonna put this out there. Please put your artists' names on your board games.
Right? That I could call it out right away.
I've seen it happen a lot lately where it's just the designer and I'm like, come on, put the artist on it.
The illustration was done by Rich Moyer, so they got him to do his.
That's awesome. That's so cool. It looks so cute.
It's very cute. It's cooperative, and it was very hard. I'm gonna tell you that right now. It was very difficult.
That's so cool. I would so play a pig version of Dracula. Wait, are they looking for blood, or what are they? What's the?
No, so, yeah, there are the bad guys. Okay, there's 4 different bad guys you could play. It reminds me a lot of Horrified. So you're picking a bad guy. We were playing against an angry chicken. Yeah, it was good. It
was so good.
We were playing against an angry chicken, and then there was like, we had fun attacks and things were, turning undead or whatever. One of us, someone on the crew was playing as a werewolf. So
that's awesome.
On the side of good, it was pretty fun and silly, and I would definitely do it again. Now that we got our butts kicked, so I would like to do it again and see if I could. Yeah. Now that I know what I'm doing, figure out how to beat it.
I have, I think the only games I've played are Railroad Tiles, and I have now played with all of the expansions.
Oh, cool! I have not played that game yet, so we got to play.
I really like it. Some of the expansions, I'm a bit like, they say they're difficult, but I think they're actually just a hindrance. They're like deliberately making it hard for you to enjoy the base game, which personally is not for me. But some of the introductory ones, or the easy ones, they just add to the game in this really lovely way, and I much prefer those. But that's just my thing. I don't like to feel like I'm just struggling the whole time. Like my city is not a city. I'm so yeah. But they're really clever. There are lots of really clever ones. Everyone always asks me the second I say it, which one's your favorite. I put it on my my stories, and the second I did, I was like, which one's your favorite?
You'll have to like Lakes. Grandma. I need to get that game in. That sounds like a good one.
I like lakes, canals, and forests. Canals, you actually have canals, and you add these little tiles that close them off and stuff. Yeah. It's very cool, and I love all the meeples. It's very nice. But I don't think you need all of the expansions. I think you could do with 3. There's a lot.
So you know what? Well, we want to hear what you're playing in the comments. If you don't get it into this stream, like tell us. I want to hear what everyone's looking forward to playing. But we should talk, Rosie, about how we're not going to be the 2 people that are on the stream next week.
We're not. Next week is my birthday. Literally, I'm a week away from my birthday, so I will be eating Thai food while you're all enjoying the stream.
And I won't be here. I'm going to turn over the camera to Luke Laurie and Chris Strain, who are our dev team, and they're going to be here. Yeah. So what I need everyone to do is think about questions for design and development. I mean, they could talk about Rosie's job. I don't know if they're going to have all the answers.
They did joke they would try.
They could talk about the latest releases and when we're getting into Canadian stores or what's happening with the latest Kickstarter, but they're probably best at what are you making next, or how do you get from the start, prototype to all the way done. Think of questions you have for them.
Yeah, and also obviously they're both board game designers as well, because Chris Strain is one of the designers of Whisperwood, along with Brad Brooks and Erin McDonald. And then we also have Luke Laurie, who's also the designer of a bunch of games you might know, including Andromeda's Edge. So you're more than welcome to ask them questions about that as well. Hopefully they can.
We'll see if they're going to leak Whisperwood artwork or something.
Yeah, maybe they've got some whispers that they can share. And try and get some info out of them. Like, it's only their jobs on the line. Don't worry about it.
And Mike is saying that he played Whisperwood, which is true. We have it right now. We have open playtest slots in our Discord. We are actually starting to show the game. It's still an early stage for art, still developing the game, but we're inviting people in the Discord to sign up. If you like longer games, because this is a little bit of a meaty one, you're doing a bag builder where you're a druid in a forest trying to clean it up. You're talking to ancient golems. You're whispering to them, trying to find out what they know, ancient secrets, casting spells, and talking to the cutest animals ever. Sergio Chavez is going to illustrate all these adorable bears, otters, owls, and other fun fey creatures and stuff in the forest. So,
are there any frogs?
There are definitely frogs in that game. So, yay!
That's my entire goal, is just to get all the frogs. Nice. I'm just going to check through some of your questions.
Yes, let's go over any questions anyone has.
So, Jan Cinema was asking, I have a question on board game creation. I don't have the time and money to create a board game at the moment, but I have an idea and a concept. Have you heard of patents for board games before?
Yes, we don't normally need to do that. So we were talking earlier about how the toy industry is different than the board game industry. So the toy industry will go closed door. Ideas will be patented, and it's a little bit more like the first to the market with something. Board games, not that the market is not as big, it's not as cutthroat, and it certainly is a lot harder to execute on an idea. For example, you can make a toy where it's all about the physicality of the toy, but a board game, it all becomes about what rules are in that game.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't take rules exactly and take it. This community is pretty great for that. I have heard of very, very few cases where someone goes, that's a great idea, I'm going to do it. And even if they do, it's usually not the same at all as what you were going to do.
Yeah, you actually can't patent an idea, and that's a lot of the issues with these things. The only recorded patent that I'm aware of is tapping a card for Magic the Gathering, and even that no longer stands, I don't think. So yeah, it's very difficult because it's so specific and so precise.
Now, there is a friend of mine I do know has patented a certain mechanism that he thinks is going to be like, if he comes out with a game, he's like, I would normally not do this, but I feel like that's brand new, and I want to be the one that controls it. But it is 99.9% of the time not needed in our industry.
Oh, someone just stumbled across this. That's really exciting. Thank you very much for joining us.
Yay!
We're at the end of this, we do this every Friday. In fact, next Friday you'll see two different faces, but it's normally us. But it's always 11 a.m. PT.
We're so glad that you're enjoying the Flamecraft expansion. I haven't heard a lot of people talk about that yet. I know some people are mentioning it in our Facebook group, but it's like all these different modules that you can play and add to Flamecraft. And I know that some people have said which ones would they add. Some of our fans are adding all of them in, which is fun. But we in the rule book we say just add 2 different modules, and so I can't wait to have more streams where we talk about which ones are everyone's favorite once everyone's gotten those at the table. I have my favorite for sure.
What was the app you used in late December to pick games to play?
What was that app? Oh boy, I might have to come up with that one in the comments later. It was like Game Night Picks.
Yeah, it sounds right. Something Picks. Yeah.
Game Night Picks.
Go watch the previous stream when we talked about it.
Yeah. No, it's Game Night Picks. I just went there right now. You can log in. You can actually make a game night. And this could be used for, like, you have a bunch of people who are coming and you want to make sure everyone ranks what their games that everyone can say which game they can teach, which game they can bring, and then you can rank them. And then you get basically everyone's top pick, which is really useful.
Will Indigo also carry dolls in Canada?
That is a good question. Is Indigo a shop, like a big shop in Canada? I don't know.
I'm not sure. It could be a distributor. I'm not sure.
If Indigo is a distributor or a shop and you're interested and you actually have a contact or info, we actually have a hobby sales manager, Patrick, who's on our team since late last year. And Patrick is reaching out to stores, reaching out to distributors. Anyone who is interested could reach us at sales@cardboardalchemy.com. And Patrick will make sure that if it's a local store, we can get them our games.
You could also send me their on Instagram on the Cardboard Instagram, and I can send it over to Patrick.
Happy to connect. This is the year where we want to connect to as many of your local favorite stores, or even big box chains. Everyone we want to talk about getting our games everywhere. I'm super excited to talk to retailers, especially, and some of them who have said I can't get Flamecraft, or Critter Kitchen's out of stock, or Drama's Edge Escalation has been out of stock, and now we're printing more so that we can cover that.
Absolutely. And a similar question: what retailers are getting the standard dolls to fit in Seasonal's bag? It does depend where you are. I'm assuming America,
yes.
But it's ask the shops that you shop at, your local ones, if they're getting it in.
If you go into so the big one we talked about is Barnes & Noble has Flamecraft duels. We are going to be pitching it to Target. Target runs at a different schedule, so they're not carrying it just yet. Also, they like to be later. They like to make sure that they're seeing the sales numbers like, oh, it's selling a lot, then yes, we want it. So right now, it's in Barnes & Noble. But if you go to your friendly local game store who knows how to order from various distributors in the United States, or if you're in Canada, knows how to order from those distributors, and you say, I've heard about this game, Flamecraft Duels, or the Flamecraft expansion, and I really want it, then they contact us in the back, they contact their distributor, and then that's how the ball gets rolling. So if you do that and show that interest, that is what a game store is going to use to decide what to stock.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Is the Genesis late pledge closing soon?
That is a good question. We currently have a late pledge, so that if you did not get in on the latest expansion for Drama's Edge, you could come in now. It's not too late because we're working on making it. And as a result, I think the late pledge is going to be open probably a couple more months because we're still sending files to the printer. There's a Lunar New Year that's coming up where the teams will be taking a break on the manufacturing side, but then they're going to come back and we're going to be still printing, like making the Cosmic Frog, which is in that game. And so you can still come in for a little while.
Yeah, absolutely. How are things going with the ribbon mail? Has it been easier than the original CK mail prompt?
I am almost there because Rosie and I are working on a project that is all around duels, and I've been mailing some things out related to that. So
and
the
you'll
ribbons
find out what that is very soon.
We're gonna cover that in a stream. It's gonna be coming to content creators near you. But after that, I'm going to get all the ribbons out. I have a built up little bit of a list. So thank you if you've written in. If anyone's wondering what that is, we have a thing where you can write to Cardboard Alchemy. If you don't see us at conventions, but you want to become a dragon, like a bread meat dragon, you can ask. You can write a letter or a postcard, or just say hello, and I will. You got to pick 2 dragons to be. You got to say, I want to be a potion, crystal, or iron plant, and then we will send you some ribbons for the next time you go to a game convention, or just to wear around the house. I'm not sure what you want to do with those, but you can put them on your computer or anything. I will be writing back to everybody, so we're getting there.
Is there deer in Whisperwood? I don't think there's deer.
I mean, there could be. The thing is, the forest is full of animals, and the forest has been lost for a long time. That's what the druids are going to go into the forest, and they're going to discover. They're going to restore the forest, and as you restore the earth, the water, and the air, you're going to see animals of each of those types. But you're also going to meet some creatures, some fey creatures that you've never seen before. So Sergio is going to draw out some animals that are going to be sort of familiar, and some animals that are not. So there might be versions of deer in this forest. We don't know.
Will we have the ribbons at UK Games Expo? I flip and hope so. I'm ready.
Absolutely. Every show that we go to where we're putting up a booth will have ribbons. We're going to bring ribbons to every show.
Because the UK Games Expo has never done the ribbon thing.
Okay.
It's never done it. When I was there last year, I remember hoping that some company would put out like the pronoun ones, because there's nothing on them that give anyone the option to do that.
Right.
So I'm hoping that we start a trend of people putting ribbons on, because I love it.
We'll start with dragons. Are you a dragon?
Yeah, exactly. That's very exciting. And some lovely comments about duels. Thank you very much. You're loving the new unique roles and enchantment upgrades. Is that
This is Dragons and Dragons. The dual dragons did make it in there. So
you're talking about the expansion, yes. Brain smut. I'm hungry. My brain's gone. We're loving the new dual dragons, new unique roles and enchantment upgrades. It's made it much more dynamic. Still need to try the others out. I've introduced so many people to the game since the first Kickstarter. Well, thank you very much, Sebs.
Thank you. Awesome. Appreciate that very
much. But yeah, I'm very excited to hear more of it.
This is going to be an exciting year because this year is going to be, not only are we going to be launching Whisperwood, but of course, by the time the year gets on, we're going to be talking about the next chapter in Flamecraft, which is the sequel, Flamebound. It is going to be more and more things revealed about where we're going, where the dragons are going to go on an adventure, and we're excited about that stuff.
I'm trying to get my dog. He's like keeps moving away.
My Flamecraft, yes.
Dobby. Come on, Dobby. No, he's just going to look at me and wag his tail. I think he wants something. I don't know what. But yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. And we will be back in 2 weeks, but next week
you can grill Luke and Chris next week.
Yeah,
then I will be ready to take on your questions. Actually, Rosie, it might just be you because I will be at Tantrum Con, right? I will be at Nuremberg and I will be at Tantrum Con. So it might be a Rosie. Rosie will have to hold down the fort.
I'll have to let me know if you want what guests you want. If there's anyone you want me to
another bonus
question. I could always ask one of my friends to join. So let me know, unless they're all at your event.
I mean, some of them will be at Nuremberg. Perhaps. I was going to say, like, we should get, Paverson and potentially, like, we should talk to other publishers about what they're doing for the year.
Yeah.
We have a lot of publisher friends in the industry. It'd be fun to talk to Kids Table Board Gaming, for example. Just like that would be a fun idea to do this year, is to get some more publishers on.
Yeah.
But if you have any questions that we didn't get answered, you could ask in YouTube. You can ask on our Discord. Like I said, we're playing Whisperwood. We have all our games on TTS, Tabletop Simulator. You could play with the team. You can play with fans. You can also ask in our Facebook groups. Oh, Dobby's coming on now. We have Facebook groups for Flamecraft, for Critter Kitchen, for Andromeda's Edge. And soon, I hope we'll have a Flamecraft group for Whisperwood.
I just realized why he's grumpy. I'm on his chair.
Oh,
He's
Dobby,
like,
we're almost. Yeah, you're almost
okay. You can sleep here in a minute. We're gonna watch. I'm gonna watch the Traitors. If anyone's watching the UK Traitors, there's also a US one, but I'm not down with it. We can chat in the Discord. We have a Discord, and I have many thoughts about the way people are playing.
We need a special channel for that now.
I love the Traitors. I think we've got a TV channel.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Thank you, everybody. Hope you get some games this weekend, and cheers. Appreciate you watching.